Before we start the main highlight of the show, I just want to remind everybody that this episode is sponsored by shopnerdko.com, your home for all things nerdy. And make sure you are liking and subscribing to our YouTube videos and anything, TikTok videos. Just make sure you're liking things, sharing them. And yeah, we'll get into it now. Who wants to go first? You're the guest of honor.
Yeah, I'll go first.
And you just came up with this on the fly. So what do you got for us here?
Oh, for our double feature?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, just kind of got sprung on me last minute, so I had to think quickly. Elf is my favorite movie, my favorite Christmas movie. So
okay.
I was trying to think of a way to work this in to make it work. So Elf is my first pick for the first half of my double feature. For many reasons, but because it's my favorite movie. And to make the double feature work, I'm going to a movie that I have not seen yet. I'm going to watch it here next week, but it's a new movie. It's called Spirited.
And that's on. Yeah. So you're going with the Will Ferrell connection here. Okay. Yeah. So, and that's part of the stipulation of this double feature is that both movies have to be related somehow. Yeah, they have to be connected somehow. So,
but Spirited it's based on the Christmas Carol.
Yes.
So it's a new take on that,
and that's available on Apple Plus TV. Yeah, so you can watch that there. And Elf you can watch on Max and
I think Hulu maybe.
Yeah, it's on everything pretty much. So, okay.
So yeah, that's my pick. I hopefully Spirited's good. I'm not really a musical person. I know this is a musical, I guess, but hopefully it'll be fun. It's got Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell in it, so I think
I'm not a musical person either, and that's pretty much turned me away from this movie for a couple years that it's been out. So,
well, you can come over and watch it when we watch it, and
maybe
knock it out.
We'll see. It's got an average Letterboxd ranking of 2.9, so it's a little above average.
Oh, is that out of 5?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, out of 10. I was like, oh crap.
Okay. So it's right in the middle there.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything Letterboxd is 5 stars. So.
Oh, okay.
That's their rating system.
Thank God. I really thought it was 10. It was a 10. I was like, oh my gosh.
You came up with this segment, so I'm going to let you go last.
Okay.
So it only makes sense here. Okay. Now, my double feature is going to be Action Christmas. So, you ready for the first one?
Do it.
Okay, let's see here. I'm going to pop it up on the screen there. That's what she said.
Oh.
Fat Man with Mel Gibson and Walton Goggins.
Okay.
So this is, a rowdy, unorthodox Santa Claus is fighting to save his declining business, which in this one, Santa Claus works for the government. They contract him to do things to keep people happy. Meanwhile, Billy, a neglected and what is that? Precocious? 12 precocious. There we go. 12-year-old hires a hit. Oh yeah, you can't really read it on the screen there. He got it though. He knew what I was talking about. Hires a hitman to kill Santa after receiving a lump of coal in his stocking. And the hitman is Walton Goggins, and he just happens to have something against Santa for giving him coal when he was a kid.
Is Mel Gibson Santa?
Yeah, Mel Gibson Santa.
Santa. Okay.
Yeah, but they have this like huge like shootout at the end. It's great. It's a fun movie. It's fun to watch. Looks like you can get it on Peacock Premium and Fandango at home. So let's see if all services pops up. Yeah, stream. You can just get it on Peacock. You can rent it, the usual places, and you can buy it in the usual places, obviously.
I'll have to check it out. I've never seen it.
You've never seen that?
No.
Oh man, it's good. I really enjoy it. This came out 2020. So this was like one of the movies I watched when I was like locked inside during the pandemic.
What was its average rating?
The average rating for this one is a 2.7. So it's not for everybody, but I would say it's an average movie. Okay, so now my second one is fairly new.
Is Mel Gibson Jewish though?
What's that?
Isn't he Jewish? Or is that
no? He's Christian.
He doesn't like Jewish people.
I think
he doesn't like Jewish.
I think he has a bit of a problem with the Jewish people.
Okay, there was something with that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. You don't remember those drunken?
Yeah, I remember. I just couldn't remember which side he was on.
So were you pro or anti?
All right, the next one up is Violent Night with starring David Harbour. Here's the synopsis for this one. When a team of mercenaries breaks into a wealthy family compound on Christmas Eve, taking everyone inside hostage, the team isn't prepared for a surprise combatant. Santa Claus is on the grounds, and he's about to show why this Nick is no saint.
Ooh.
But this is a super fun movie. Have you seen this?
I still haven't.
Dude, you got to watch this.
You
haven't watched this either?
No.
What's it on right now? Does it say?
We'll find out here. This will be your new favorite Christmas movie when you watch this.
It was, I think when it originally came out, it was on Peacock or something. And then it showed up on Prime or Netflix. And I just never got around to watching it.
Yeah. I own a digital copy of this. So if you want, I'll come over and sign in to Fandango.
Okay.
We'll watch it. But David Harbour plays Santa. John Leguizamo plays the main bad guy. Beverly D'Angelo plays the mother. And then there's a couple other people that you'll notice. But it's funny. Like, I would describe it as like Home Alone, the adult version of Home Alone, with like a mystical, like, warrior Santa Claus in it, who happens to be a drunk, and he's kind of losing his magic a little bit. But super fun watch. I mean, it's got some great, I wouldn't say gore, but there's some great scenes where he really jacks some people up, and you're like, holy crap, dude, this is awesome.
I thought you were going Lethal Weapon with your second pick, but
no, I thought about doing Mel Gibson, connecting Mel Gibson. And
Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
it is. Well, what's funny, last night, Muzz and I were talking about this, and he was like, he had a similar idea when I explained the premise to him about the double features. And he was like, oh, I'm going Fat Man and Daddy's Home 2, Mel Gibson.
Oh, okay.
And, I think I'll say this, not Mel Gibson, but Daddy's Home 2 is probably the most underrated Christmas movie to come out in years past. It's probably my favorite Christmas movie that's come out in probably the last decade.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, you got to watch it. You've seen Daddy's Home, right?
Probably.
With Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I think I have. It's been a while.
So the second one is obviously same people, but they introduced their parents in this one, the dads. And Mel Gibson is Mark Wahlberg's dad. He plays like an astronaut that's all tough. And John Lithgow is
nice.
Will Ferrell's dad, and he's like a sissy guy that is all about nurturing people with love and stuff. But it's a really cool movie, and that will get you in the Christmas spirit. Like, there's just something about that movie that's special.
Okay.
Like, it's a must watch this time of year.
I'll add it to the list then.
So here's where you can stream Violent Night. You can get it on the Stars apps.
Has.
Yeah. So I mean, you could if you have Stars on Amazon Prime. Some people do. They're still in business.
Somebody has to.
Yeah, somebody's paying for it. And then obviously you can rent it and buy it at the usual places. Okay. So I'm done. It's all you, brother.
Oh,
we're just whizzing through this episode, man.
So I got a few I was trying to think of all week.
Oh boy, see, it's never just like one. He's got to go full steam. That's why I let him go last.
Yeah.
Well, you see, I was almost hoping to try to make a game out of it. Like, we have those games where like somebody names a movie and somebody has to name an actor.
Association game or something.
Yeah. So I was trying to think if we could do that with Christmas movies, but there's probably so many out there I haven't seen. And I'm like, I don't know if we could do that. So
I want to make a game I'm going to lose at.
Right. So
yeah, Rob's not here for us to do that.
Right. So I'll save the first one I thought of for last. But when I kind of pitched the idea to you, I picked Home Alone and Die Hard. Two Christmas favorites that I already love. Die Hard's the first one I watch every year. I haven't watched Home Alone this year. And my connective tissue was sort of, they're both about two people who fight off thieves on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, that's good.
I like that one better, but you came up with it, so I didn't want to take that idea. But I like that was my favorite one.
Yeah.
So how did you know he was not going to?
Well, because he already brought it up. I didn't want to have an original idea.
Honestly, the reason I picked that one is because I think it was one of the most obvious ones.
Yeah, it's the easiest.
I didn't want Rob Zilla to pick it at the last second.
Well, like it's like probably like two of my top 5 Christmas movies in there. So
I think that's why he didn't come over tonight. He was sweating. He couldn't figure out a connection.
I literally, like I said, I'm picking one of the most obvious ones just so Rob can't get
it. There's no connection in the Tubi section with these movies.
He could have picked. I know you could do Die Hard 2 and Home Alone 2 because they're both.
He could have just done Hallmark and picked the one lady from Full House that stars in every Hallmark movie now. Well, she's on some Christian network now.
Yeah,
she left Hallmark because they're too woke for her.
Yeah, they weren't Christian enough for them. Let's see. Another one here I picked was Black Christmas.
Okay,
the original from remember if that's like 70 something or 80 something.
Well, let's find out here. I've never watched the original Black Christmas. I saw the one they did a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm. I've only seen it like once, and I need to give it a rewatch. So I wasn't super duper into it the first time.
I know this is like for some people, this is a must watch every holiday, like particularly like horror fans.
Yeah,
like they just love this.
And I think I don't know how many. They've had like at least 2 remakes or 3 remakes.
Yeah, I think there's like
by now.
Well, there was like one in the early 2000s, and they did one, like I said, a couple of years ago. Right, so,
have you seen them all?
No. I've barely seen this one. I saw it once years ago. I got it on Blu-ray at home. I need to give it a chance again. But
would you guess what? It's on Tubi, by the way.
Oh, see, Rob could have picked it.
We should call Rob when we're done with this segment and make him join in on trivia.
Has he seen it? Is he on your friends list down there?
There's you. No, I don't see the.
Not surprised.
The Zilla eating eating chips and drinking diet soda on the couch. Would you like me to read the synopsis for you, sir?
Sure, go
ahead. If this picture doesn't make your skin crawl, it's on too tight. As the residents of the Pi Kappa Sigma sorority house prepare for the festive season, a stranger begins to harass them with a series of obscene phone calls. It's got an average rating of 3.8, by the way.
Oh, wow.
And let's launch all the services where you can watch this.
Dang, everywhere.
That's pretty good. If you got a 3.8 on Letterboxd, you know you're in store for a solid movie. So you can stream this on Prime Video, AMC Plus, Crackle, whatever that is. I've never heard of that. Have you?
Penguin.
Is it Penguin?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Can you click on it? Flex.
Okay. Sorry, no. Yeah, they need to update their service then. Obviously, it's available on Shudder if it's available on AMC Plus, Peacock, Roku, and Tubi. So it's available everywhere. You don't need to buy this unless you want to buy it and add it to your collection.
I need a notepad where all these movies down I need to watch.
Yeah, you definitely do.
And the movie it's getting paired with is A Christmas Story.
Okay. So I don't think we need to.
I think that's good enough.
Yeah.
But the connective tissue is they're both directed by Bob Clark.
Okay.
Okay. That's crazy. Yeah. I never knew that.
So, yep.
And A Christmas Story came after that in 1983.
Yep.
So,
like I say,
those of you that don't know what A Christmas Story is, there it is right there. And listen, you don't need to rent this. If, like I said, and if you haven't seen this, if you've been living under a rock all these years, I mean, come on.
There are some people out there who really do not like A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for them.
You almost have to go out of your way to not have seen this movie.
There's a reason why it was at TBS and TNT play it 24 hours on Christmas. You know, it starts at midnight and it goes all the way through Christmas.
Sometime on Christmas Eve. And
yeah, it's awesome. Who doesn't love it? Did you like the sequel? I can't remember.
I still haven't watched it yet. I need to get around to it.
It's decent. It's a nice little, for them doing it so many years later. Yeah. It was decent.
Just a little something extra to have.
And A Christmas Story has an average rating of 3.6.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. I give it a 4. Is it a 5-star for you, or?
I think I gave it like a 4.
It's a solid 4. I mean, it's not the most perfect movie, but it's great because everybody can relate to it.
As a Christmas movie, it's a 5-star Christmas movie, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
it's just a regular movie. It's a 4-star movie.
Okay, what else you got for us, man?
All right, so I was trying to think of some just to kind of throw together. So I'm picking The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh wow!
And Kurt Russell's Christmas movie, The Christmas Chronicles.
Oh yeah, that was a decent one.
You got Kurt Russell, Santa Claus in that one. I'm going with my connective tissues. They're both Kurt Russell with a beard and funky hats. I am cheating a bit because I still haven't seen The Christmas Chronicles either.
Really?
Yeah.
So how can you recommend something you haven't even watched?
It's just
you dirty bastard.
My Kurt Russell double.
I did the same thing though with Spirited.
Well, you're allowed to do that. You're Papa Flynn. You've got things going on. You don't stay locked up in your house and avoid everybody, and only see people, once every 2 weeks.
I wish. Yeah. So I got a couple more. I'm going to cheat here a little bit because I'm not necessarily picking 2 movies. So The first one I'm going to pick is Tales from the Crypt, the movie.
Oh, geez.
From 1972. It's a British horror anthology, and the first segment in the anthology is called.
By the way, not to cut you off, but in the thing, is there anything like Christmas? I'm trying to remember.
Just very wintry.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha. I always watch it around Christmas time, or like once the snow hits.
You're going with the vibe.
So it's like
gotcha.
it's like Frozen then. Frozen's not really a Christmas movie, but it's a winter movie.
You've never seen the thing either?
No.
Oh, dude, you're missing out on like great films.
I would like to see that movie.
Yes.
I mean, for its time, it's still like pristine to this day. Like it is amazing.
I'm confident that it'll be a good.
It's all practical effects, so nothing looks like terribly fake or any of that. And
John Carpenter in his prime.
Yeah, I mean, Kurt Russell's.
Like when I finally got around to watching Alien, that movie, I think that was awesome.
If you like Alien, you're gonna love.
That's why I feel like it's probably in that vibe where it's like a.
Yeah, they're in like Antarctica, and it's a research team. And
yeah, it's good stuff.
There's a shapeshifter, obviously, and they don't know how to tell people apart. It's really good.
Okay, I'll watch that too.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Okay, carry on, sir.
So the thing about like I say, it's an anthology horror movie. So like some people get stuck in a crypt, and the crypt keeper comes out, kind of like the TV show, and tells them some stories. And the first one is called "And All Through the House," and it's about a woman who I think murders her husband on like Christmas Eve, and at the same time she's hearing radio broadcasts that like there's been an insane asylum patient who's been on the loose, and it turns out he's like killed a Santa Claus or something, and he took the Santa suit. So like the whole time this woman's kind of dealing with the stuff in her house, she's hearing these radio broadcasts about a insane Santa running around, and he ends up showing up at the house. And it's a fun one, and it's got some other segments in it that I really like too. That's sort of the Christmassy one. So you get through those segments, and then what you do is you look up the Tales from the Crypt television show, and they did their own standalone episode called "And All Through the House." And I think Tales from the Crypt's kind of hard to find, the TV show, but I'm sure if you look it up on YouTube, a lot of them are up there.
Okay.
And that's actually the second episode of the first season of Tales from the Crypt. And it's directed by Robert Zemeckis and written by Fred Decker. So it's kind of like a classic one. It's got Larry Drake plays the insane Santa. And it's definitely a kind of your horror double feature to get you in the Christmassy mood.
Nothing gets me in the Christmas mood like seeing people slaughtered.
Right.
By an insane Santa Claus.
You know it.
Santa Claus, as my grandmother used to say.
I always liked it when I start my Christmas.
Your mom says that too.
Yeah.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Never noticed that.
Every once, she'll bust it out.
It's a Cunningham thing.
Yeah.
So like when I do my Christmas movies during the year, I kind of start out earlier in the month doing like the less Christmassy stuff. So I'll watch like my Christmas horror movies and stuff.
By the way, we are both National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation theme today.
Right.
I've got a Shitter is Full t-shirt on. There we go.
I got Clark in the family truckster with the tree on top.
Yeah. Where'd you put your shirt at? I got you.
I threw it over there.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, hold it up for the camera. Show the limited edition Nerdco shirt this year.
I wore what I wore to work today.
That's fine. At least you showed up.
That's right.
I'll wear it on the next episode. So sort of the one that made me start thinking about this was there's a movie called The Night They Saved Christmas, and it's a TV movie from the 80s.
Oh, really?
And
those TV movies back in the day were good.
It's really funny. We were kind of talking about how I'm not quite sure how much I like the idea of what Superman the movie looked like. It looked too comic-y and all that. And if you watch like a lot of just made for TV stuff from the 80s and 90s, like TV shows used to look really good. They were, the lighting and everything. That's one of the things I think we've lost moving from digital to film is all the little kind of intricacies of stuff you had to do.
Yeah.
Just to make it look good. And now anymore, it's like, well, we'll fix it.
You couldn't be lazy back then. Yeah. Everything had to be perfect.
Right. I think about, I started using my dad's film camera recently, and just the idea of focusing and using the light and checking the light meter and refocusing. And sometimes you got to step forward and step back. Just the little things that goes into something like taking a picture. I think it shows. And anymore, a lot of stuff's kind of digital. And you're kind of like, I can fix it later and edit it and whatever. And so I think a lot of these older movies from the 80s and 90s, even though they were just TV movies, still look pretty good. So The Night They Saved Christmas was like a childhood favorite, and I hadn't watched it in like 20 years probably. And wouldn't you know it, it's on YouTube in like a really good, like somebody got it on there in like HD quality, and it's stretched to fit the screen now, so it's letterboxed, even though back in the day it was a square like your TV. So I watched it for a few minutes, and I'm like, no, this looks too good for me. So I Googled it again on YouTube.
I need a shittier version.
I need a shittier version. It's not right. So I found on YouTube there's also a version that's in the 1331 square format, and it had like 80s commercials in it. Somebody,
oh wow, they filmed the whole thing.
Somebody taped it off TV off their local station in Philadelphia or something.
That's cool.
So
I have episodes of Emergency on VHS.
Oh yeah,
they're taped from TV.
By the way, I just want to point out that this is available on Tubi.
And, yep, that was my other thing. It's available on Tubi.
If you we'll see. There you go. You can see it on YouTube there. And it has an average score of 3.1. Yeah. So it's a decent movie.
Like I say, it's kind of an average, 80s TV movie. You're not going to see, Academy Award winning stuff, but it's a fun time. It really got me in sort of the holiday mood today. And it's about this guy is drilling for oil in like the Arctic, and he's involved with the company. And the idea is their site A is not producing oil, so they're going to move to the second site, and they're using dynamite to do the wells and all that.
Yeah,
and they're going to blow up the North Pole City.
Jesus, you can't have that,
right? So Santa,
you can double feature that with the thing. With,
almost
Arctic,
yeah, you could have.
So it's like, so they come to the guy's wife and his wife and kids. Say, we'll bring you to the North Pole City and show you everything, so you can go back and convince your husband to quit dynamiting and kill us all.
Yeah,
and it's got like the things of like, is Santa real, or is he fake, or is he not real, and all that. And it's got there's one of the kids says he's talking to his parents like at the dinner table, and I forget, they're just talking about, is Santa real or not, and they're just talking, and I forget exactly what the mom says, but the mom says something and upsets the kid, and the kid's like, I hate you and I hope you die.
Oh geez.
And I'm like, damn, like that wasn't just for a little bit of talking about Santa. That was really over the top.
That's a terrible thing to say right there.
Yeah. Whew. So it's got Paul Williams is another actor that you probably recognize his face if you don't recognize his name. He plays an elf who go gets him and all that. So it's a fun 80s throwback time. And I'm going to pair it with a Twilight Zone episode called The Night of the Meek. And it's about this sort of like bad Santa kind of character who's an alcoholic, and he's playing Santa at the local mall or whatever this year. And he shows up late, and he, upsets the guy, and he, just lets down all the kids, and he lets down the neighborhood kids. And what happens is he finds Santa's bag, and he's able to give the kids presents and all that. And he's able to redeem himself a little bit. And it's a really nice, heartfelt Twilight Zone episode. I forget which season it's from. But the connective tissue here is Santa in both of these is played by an actor named Art Carney. So it's really just nice, fun, wholesome, good time Christmas stuff for that one.
All right. That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Okay.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Right. I was trying to work in like Ernest Saves Christmas. I couldn't quite do it unless I just paired it up with another Ernest movie. I'm like,